Hello and welcome to the next episode of live coding and commenting on the fly. And as you can see in the description and in the title, actually in the title of the stream, I'm not going to work on the virtual machine that I worked like past 3 streams. Instead of that, I'll try to implement the voice manager, voice assistant. And it is because I wanted to create, I'm spending some time on the streams and I just wanted to create something useful that I can use then when I create it. So actually the virtual machine is a cool idea and it's a very interesting topic, but the voice assistant is actually more helpful in real life, and I could actually use it uh, if it, of course, works. So yeah, that's why I'm switching between the projects. Before we'll start, what do you see on the screen is a rough architecture model that I drew like 5 minutes ago. But before we start, I just want to say that I have no idea what I'm doing. I mean, I barely touched Python in the past. I'm mostly like C++ programmer, so I probably suck in Python, but that's not the point. The point is to create a voice manager. And I want to create it in Python because recently Mozilla, or recently, not actually recently, but Mozilla has launched an open source project which is called Deep Speech. Deep Speech, and it is a speech-to-text project. What's cool about this project? It is that you can actually train it, and it will be able to work locally without cloud computing and stuff like that, without like involving cloud and sending your voice and or texts outside your local local computer, actually. So that's why I wanted to use it, because I didn't want, like, I could buy an Alexa or a Google Home or something like that, but to be honest, I'm not okay with the fact that my voice and my fiancé voice would be sent, and everything that we say would be sent to some cloud and computed there, probably stored there, because you know how it is. So I wanted to create a local voice assistant, and probably there are projects like this, but I also wanted to like learn a little. So I decided to implement this on my own. Of course, I'm not going to implement the speech-to-text engine and like the neural network, but I think the project will be like very interesting, even without implementing my own neural network to deep speech or something like this. So let's go this way. If I like decide that it's too easy to implement a voice assistant based on the deep speech on the deep speech project, I'm going to implement my own network. But we'll see how it goes. I assume that it's not that simple as it seems. So here is the rough architecture model, a diagram, I don't know how to call it. So we start here. So here's the microphone that we say to. Then the audio is going to be sent to speech to text engine, which will be deep speech. Deep speech gets extracts text from the audio and sends it to the core. Core will be a Python script. Speech to text is going to be also a Python script, but the core will be a script that takes texts, raw texts, and based on that do a bunch of stuff. Then it sends based on the text. It sends a task to the dispatcher, and then dispatcher in my mind it's like that dispatcher is still a Python script, but the tasks are going to be executed by separate, maybe not Python scripts, we'll see, but separate entities like Python script or binary executable or some other program or so. So I want to make a line here between Python and make an abstraction between Python and actual tasks executing. So yeah, dispatcher is going. Dispatcher will send a data to some. We start a task and send it data. Then when task finishes, it sends a result to core, and core translates the result to text. Then text is sent to text to speech engine, and the audio is sent to speakers. So it seems simple, but it seems I know it won't be that simple, but it is doable. So let's see. Actually, I think the hardest part will be to train the deep speech the main difficulty will be, I think, to text the deep speech network to the network of deep speech to understand my words, because I'm going to train it to understand Polish. I'm going to the Dziadzia, yeah, because the project is called Dziadzia, so the Dziadzia is going to listen in Polish and is going to speak in Polish too. So English is easy because English you have I already trained neural network in deep speech. I want to learn it, to teach it English, Polish, sorry. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And today, we will start the project from scratch, and let's start with the core. So we'll create something that takes text and do some stuff with it, like make a task and execute that task. I have no idea how I will implement this, but yeah, let's go. So I have a empty directory here. There is no Git repository, even a Git repository. So let's create one. Okay, now we have one. Let's create a file with the git ignore. Yeah, and now let's go to find a JetBrains git ignore. and just copy that. Now let's add a whole idea directory to the git ignore, and let's see how it is. Cool, we have only one file, the git ignore, so and let's immediately switch to dev branch. Cool. So now let's create a file, Python file, where the core will be placed. So core okay. So the core takes text and it's supposed to start a task based on this text. So let's create a method here. Handle text. Text. Okay. And I think the simplest task is to the volume. I don't know how to make it happen in Python, but but let's see. So let's make a directory here, tmp, for like nodes and unnecessary stuff. Let's add it to git ignore. Okay. So let's say that when I want to change the volume or mute, I would say like Dziadzia, volume up, volume down. So Dziadzia would be okay. So the voice assistant is going to like work like Alexa or Google Home. So when I say Dziadzia, it's like waking up, and then it takes the text after that and handles that. So the Dziadzia is actually going to be skipped. So now the whole task is placed here. So the first word says what I want to do. I mean like the scope of the task. So the scope of the task will be volume, and the actual task is to make it up or to turn it up or down. Okay. So let's create another method. Handle volume. Params. Okay. Here, let's say, let's split the text by spaces. So cool. And now in the constructor, let's create a map a dictionary, which will map like the scope, which is the volume, with the handler. I can't do this. Why I can't do this? Mm, okay, instead of methods, let's create for every like task and scope, let's create another its own class. So yeah, params. So the volume will be volume handler. Cool. So now we have split texts, and let's see. How we can check whether something is in dictionary. Okay. Let's call it scope. Okay. If there is nothing here, cool. Now scope will be the first element. Okay, and handler. Let's make our early return here, not in handlers. Let's return. Now we have scope, so handler from scope. And now let's call handler handle and the rest of params. So split it. I think it will work. Okay, here let's print something. Handling volume and plus params. Cool. Okay, core. Cool. Cool. Now let's create a main, simple main that we will test. And now, and so we create an instance of the core, and we ask it to handle the text volume up. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it didn't find such class. Yep, and it worked. Handling volume up. Cool. Cool. Now let's make a commit. Actually. Now let's actually check how we can change volume via Python. Apple script. OSA script. Okay, let's use OSA script. Set volume, output volume. I'm not sure if we have this. But it seems complex. Like OSA script was that. Um, so it wants. Let's use Apple script, or no, or not. Okay, writing a program to wake up me. Let's fuck it and just use Unix. No. But that's Unix specific. Why? Also audio. Okay, let's use also audio. Okay, it's called. Can install it by apt-get. Mm, then import also audio. Whatever. Um, Mixer. Let's create a mixer here. Sudo to the rescue. Why? Why not? Uh, I'm not sure what -h do. Why? So okay, so I had to install the binary first and then Python module. Okay, let's try. Cool. So let's set right again. Ah, it worked. it has changed the volume to 20%. Cool. Okay, so first off, let's create a dependency here. Like, no dependency. No, let's first commit. Okay, now let's create a readme. And let's make dependencies. So I had to install this and then this one. Okay, and now let's make this actually work because we want to say volume up or down, so we need to get current volume. Get volume, and let's say that with up down we say 10%. So difference is going to be like -10 if params 0 is equal to up, else okay, not up, down, else 10. So first off, let's see whether we have actual parameters here. So if let's make an early return is less than 1. Let's return. Okay, difference. So current volume plus difference. Can I somehow clamp? Okay. No. So desired volume is going to be equal from 0 to 100. And set volume desired volume. Let's print a log here. Okay, in main. Cool. Why? What's wrong? Can only concatenate list, not int to list. So current volume. What's that? Get volume. So get volume. What does get volume return? There's a list with the current volume setting for each channel. Okay, so the list elements are integer percents. Okay. So let's just get. Don't care about channels. Works. Man, it works. How cool is that? So now we do have volume handler. Sorry. We do have volume handler that actually changes the volume. Cool. So now let's move volume handler to its own file. Well, let's create a handlers module. Okay, now let's handle mute. So let's say when we say volume mute, it's going to mute the volume, of course. So params, if the parameter is mute, Let's create a mixer here. Self-mixer. Self-mixer, set, not set volume, but set mute. Set mute. Let's create straightforward unmute to 0. Unmuting. And let's create handle volume change. Direction. So here let's just copy and paste the stuff here. If direction is down, cool. Okay. So now it should volume up 4 times to up to 40% and then mute. And it actually works. So let's now unmute. Okay, we don't handle unmute. Let's just now do it like in dirty way. Unmute. Can we switch in Python by based on string? No, we can't. So let's go dirty way. Unmute, handle, unmute. If okay. Cool, now it works. 40%. Implement muting and unmuting. Okay, and What's now? Let's see what our diagram shows. So we have like core and the dispatcher. So we omitted the dispatcher. We directly created a task. Okay, that's not a task even. That's not even a task. We just called a function to change volume. To do. Okay. I'm wondering how to implement this in some nicer way. So creating tasks would not be so would be easy and stable, because now when, for example, volume handler throws an exception, the whole program crashes, and we would not like to do that. So I think it's better to extract handlers and actual tasks to other process, so it would be more stable. I mean, the core application would be more stable. Mhm. But to implement this in like separate processes, we would need some inter-process communication, which would probably be done on by sockets. I think it would be easier, the easiest way, and thanks to that we could create actual processes could be run like from binary files, executables, or even on different computer, and then from socket we get result. To socket we send data to analyze, to handle, and from socket we would receive the result of the operation. And that would be the easiest way and the most like stable. So I've used a couple of sockets libraries, and I really like this 0MQ one. So I think I will use this one, but I don't want to like I don't want this stream to be boring, because now to be honest, I don't know what to implement and how what architecture is going to look, how it should look. So let's finish the stream right now, and I'll think of it. Oh, sorry. During the week, and in the next weekend we'll implement something fancy. So thank you for watching, if someone watched, and see you next time. Bye bye.